Hi, this is Harsha, and my teammate's name is Vishwas. Our topic is employee attrition rate analysis. So, what is employee attrition? It is a gradual reduction of employee number. It is a problem that affects businesses regardless of their location, industry, or size. Employee attrition results in considerable expenditure for a company, including the cost of business disruption, the cost of employing and training new employees. As a result, there is a lot of commercial interest in figuring out what causes the employee turnover and how to reduce it. This is the poster. We have picked the dataset of one of the most famous software companies in the United States from Kaggle. This is our dashboard. We have made 7 charts, and let me go through each of the chart and tell you how can we play with the data. So coming to the choropleth map, this represents the average monthly income by state, where higher intensity color represents higher monthly salary and lower intensity represents lower salary. When we hover over it, we'll get the state name with the monthly salary in that particular state. Okay, once we click on Texas, we can see everything in this dashboard gets filtered and the data gets changed. For example, we can select multiple states and we can deselect them by clicking on it again. This is a scatter plot which represents age versus salary. X-axis is salary and y-axis is the age. We can brush over a particular subset if we want to filter the data. Yeah. To reset this, we can click on the reset button here. And for the level of job, we have represented a bar chart. There are 5 levels of job in our data set. So if we click on entry level, the data is filtered only for the entry level employees, and we can multi-select. We can deselect this as well by clicking on it again. It represents male to female ratio in the company. You can select on it to see the behavior of that gender, and you can analyze. You can deselect it by clicking on it again. The attrition chart represents the percentage of people who left the company versus the percentage people who are working in the company. You can click on any of the slides to show the data. So coming to the sunburst chart, we have constructed this using the hierarchical data. The first level represents the department. The second level represents the sub-department in that particular department. And the third level represents the attrition in that particular department. So we can select any of this to check the insights for this particular department. And you can multi-select this as well. Coming to the PCP plot, these are the important attributes we are using to analyze the data. For example, we can brush over it to filter the values, and you can reset it using the reset button. Now I'm handling it to Vishwas.
So coming to the interesting facts, we found many of them. So some of those are like the first basic one we found is there is a attrition rate difference when we see the employees based on their gender. So for the male there is a attrition rate of 17%. For a female the attrition rate is around 15%. So we can see the males tend to switch their jobs very quicker than the females, but there is not much significant difference. Coming to the next insight we found is there is the employees are divided into 5 categories of levels, like we as we know generally they are entry level, intermediate, and the management levels goes on. So we found that entry level job employees are having the higher attrition. Here the average was around 16%, but now the attrition rate is 26%, which is a huge difference. And within the attrition rate of entry level employees, we can see different departments, and we found that uh, the sales employees of the entry level employees have a higher attrition rate. So the total attrition rate, average attrition rate for entry level employees is around 42%, but for only the sales, it's around 42%. So as we know, generally the sales people have the hectic schedules and they travel from place to place, so they tend to switch the jobs to which company the incentives are more. They thrive for uh, the incentive based on the type of the work they do generally. So the HRs and the managers can take a good cross check for the sales employees, so that they are retained to the company. And one more interesting fact we can find is, like, for example, if you want to show the know the employees behavior, for example any of the employees behavior, for example this employee behavior, we can brush and see how what the employee nature is. Like, he is from New Mexico and his education field is life sciences and the job satisfaction is low, and all the other parameters like total working years at the company, his job satisfaction is low. So maybe this is one of the reason why he has been attrition, and he's a sales representative. As I mentioned previously, the sales people tend to switch their jobs very quicker. So coming to the next fact, we found that the employees who are having the higher salaries and the higher ages have the lower attrition rate. Like, it's around 5%, which is one by third of the average attrition rate, which is around 16%. So within that 5% attrition rate of these employees too, we found the contribution of the other departments from other than sales are very low. Like, see, there is no attrition for the other departments. Like, for research director it was 3%, and the HRs, which is 5%. It's But whereas the sales executives have 25%, which is contributing to that 5%. So we can see uh, the employees who are having higher salary and higher ages, the sales employees tend to switch their jobs in this category too. So one more thing we can find, on contrary, we can see the employees who are having low salary and low age. So it's around 23%, which is around 5 times of the previous subset of the employees we have seen. So this is a huge difference where we can easily tell how the age and the salaries affect the attrition rates. So next one, from the PCP plot, we have found, for example, there is a correlation between the job satisfaction and attrition. So if a job satisfaction is low, so the attrition rate increases. Like, as we know, the job satisfaction, work-life balance, these are the key terms for employees to be on the to be retained. So the attrition rate is 23%, which is greater than the previous average, which is around 16%. And so we can play around with these different plots and know different insights, and we can know these all insights according to each state too, not only the whole country wise. So these are the facts we found. Thanks for listening. Have a nice day.